Alright. Now this game did get a review, but it was only done recently. So I really feel I want to do my own review basically to help getting up those free reviews it basically needs. Beneath the Throne of the Goblin Queen. And by the looks of it, it's an ASCII traditional dungeon, so that'll be nice. By Team Savarg, Stefan Isilvuk, Miroslav Gavilov. No idea how well I basically say that, but whatever, there's the name. A roguelike entry for a 70URL 2025 challenge. Instructions, jam versions. Movement is with arrows. Shift to jump. So it might be apparently some debris to jump over and stuff like that. Click on things. Describe. Space, wait, I, inventory. Post jam version. Press F1 for help. It's much nicer than here. Okay, so basically there's help in the F1, it's nice. Go down and seal the hate that destroys. Suffer through prayer at the twin altars. Wield the unwieldy magic of the glyphs. Is there any way to escape? Tell me about the design. The magic in this game is soft. There are no active abilities that you can use. Instead, the glyphs do as their nature tells them. Is your health low? The heal glyph heals. Bad roll? The luck glyph re-rolls. Using the magic of the glyphs is automatic and it increases tension. Here's a listing of the glyphs and their basic effects. Heal. Chance to regain health per turn. Endure. Chance to regain stamina and prevent damage. Luck. Chance of everything good happening more often or more strongly. Daken. Chance to blind enemies, can't bump attack you, and move randomly. Light. Increases sight range and chance to spark a fire from a burning source. Open. Scan now shows stat details and chance for containers to be unlocked. Flow. Jump through walls and chance for environmental effects to spread more. Glyphs can be collected at altars. Enough tension around them and rifts will open from the underworld. Portals sending in powerful beings to capture you and take your power. The same energy, however, paints the way forward. It satiates the altar, allowing you to take the power and go to greater depths. At every stage after the first, the Endure glyph was prepared for you. There will be 2 altars in the level and a choice of powers to take. Some are more obvious than others, some more powerful together than others. Attribution. Pixel art, serif font by Ref Pixels with minor changes to fit the game's needs. Added glyphs for portals and some minor pixel art like tables, etc. This font is under, the thing right there. The font files are binarized and distributed only as a part of the game. Thank you for wonderful serif font. No generational AI is basically used. It's basically I guess the developers in it, that's it. Post-jam updates. While the game's core is present, some systems fell short. Collecting stuff, casting essences, consuming herbs to alleviate tension, which are present, don't have a good footing. Version 1.1 is here to fix that. Check this changelog. So herbs and jewels can now be consumed. Cast. Excuse me. Herbs give you powers temporarily. Jewels crack to emit mist, while with wild effects together they reactivate. Herbs are more enemies and more complicated enemy AI. There are more patterns and behaviors in the more complicated enemy types, including swarming, running away, splitting when damaged, and blinking ominously. Altar mechanics are now different. When activating an altar, you become sounds, which makes all the glyphs inert, including the ones you want to collect. This means you have to survive for 10 turns before being able to end a level. Game end. There is an actual true ending. It might require a few things, but it's there. UI updates. F1 brings up a useful help menu. Tab brings up a larger diary. There's a loot menu for chests instead of auto pickup. The overall UI is retouched a bit too. The def window is now colorful. Identification. Hold Alt to identify important things. The rest can be checked out in the F1 help menu. Stuff isn't randomly given colors and names. They are fixed and there for you to figure out. Bug fix. A lot of optimization and general bug fixes should be much better than before. Future updates. A potential version 1.2 might be in the cards much later in the year and bring in 12 minor glyphs. Powers accessible through mechanics that were cut from 1.0, such as potions. Only time will tell. Alright, so this is basically made by one, I already basically said their names there in the, Okay, that's probably the other guy right there, Stefiaski. But yeah, 2 of them basically made this one. There's 2 downloadable files, the post-jam as well as version 1.0. I'll basically start playing like the original version just to see how it basically goes, but we'll jump into post-jam, I guess, at some point. See how that basically goes. Only took me 5 minutes to basically read all that, like, text, but it's fine. Alright, so suspicious file detected, nothing really new. Welcome, brave sojourner. Alright. Oh, good, it's nice and done. Alright, so Beneath the Throne of the Goblin Queen by Team Zavarg, press space. I know we got health, stamina, and tension up here. And it's going to generate our dungeon for us. Okay, so. I'll note that numpad doesn't work, so it's just, cursor keys, I guess. Okay, go and seal what lies beneath the throne of our queen. Due to the tension of the glyphs, the release mana Setier. Each glyph is a boon, their balance cradles our world. The magics of glyphs are varied and immeasurable. Satiate the altars and release the tension to open them. These must be goblins here, by the way. There are 4 altars to cross before the one we hate. Rift portals are easy to close, make any physical contact. Each mineral refracts a glyph, throw it to bestow essence. Satiating the altar should open a path to new powers. May our libraries be useful to your efforts. Plants alleviate tension from the glyphs they are bound to. My sorry people has to burn you, so do as we couldn't. Shards give us glyphs of power to do as they please. 4 breaths snap the tension, our forefathers have said. We have seen patterns. Patterns persist even when we don't. There is none who survived the risks and what they bring. There were 9 shards that we held before the curse. If you tire, find space to recoup, to take vantage. My people only prowl around slow like you also shift. So that's probably so, I use my stand obviously to run a little bit more. Oh, look at that. If I basically wait, it actually increased my sight range a little bit too. So move around like this, basically less sight range, but if I wait, I can see more. This one altar we have readied for you, dear Savior, endure. Alright, so you've gained the endure glyph, feel it pulsing. The goblin hits me. Is there an enemy around? I can't really tell. Alright, well, you felt nothing. The endure glyph quivers. I hit the goblin. Goblin hits me. I hit the goblin. We hit each other again. I endured. There goes the goblin. You pick up gold. You read, diamonds serve the open sky. You pick up stuff from the shelf. So these are libraries. You read, spears and ogres formed an open alliance. You read, sapphire splits the light in 2. You felt nothing, so sometimes the endure glyphs will basically let me avoid damage. Hit the goblin. You hit the hobgob, so this is a hobgob right here. So we got Kobold here. I guess when attention gets high, you know, stuff happens, so. Alright, I guess we just died there, so. There's our first run. Let's try this again with the post-gen version. Alright, now I got an inventory screen here with I for inventory. Alright, just opens up again. Now we got B's basically here. F1 for help, def1 is 6. Whoops. Oh yeah, my AVG popped up. Alright, so controls. You can see, like, you know, arrows to move, shift to jump apparently, or, you know, to run. Space, wait. Hold Alt to scan. Tab for diary, I for inventory. F1 for help. Hold F10 for exit. Prophecy. Grasp for the glyphs, find the next altar, tension feeds the risk, bring the fear, question mark to get to seal to hate below. So, dungeon, the at is the person, dot is the floor, B is book, a number sign is a wall, you can see the altar is basically the stairs, key is F, gold is, gold, mineral, plant, containers are plus, minus, all sorts of stuff right there. So, you know, closed crate, closed chest, empty chest. Set dressing, we got, like, you know, the candle, anvil, grate, cauldron, furnace, table, bookshelf. That's probably the bookshelf we had before, an empty shelf. And elements, we got flame, cinders, rift, and portal. Okay, that F1 helps a lot, so good job on that. You open the book and read. Safety the altars attention to open them. You open the book and read. One altar we have ready for you, endure. So it's basically just saying everything before. I'm not sure I have to read everything here. I'm just going to read them just for the sake of it. Interesting sort of level generation here, but okay. Alright, so the endure glyph. Grasp it and ascend. Press space and press escape. Just a whole space. Alright, so you gain the endure glyph, you feel it's pulsing. So how does hold alt here work? I'm not sure the alt thing works all that well, but whatever. I'm not sure basically, like, you know, I basically use the mouse at all here or whatever, so that's the thing as well. Inventory, nothing in my inventory. These are candles, I guess. Yeah, candles. Statue of Flesh Cutter. All librarian. There's obviously a kobold behind me there. It doesn't list basically what the enemies basically are here, so I guess I have to, you know, just figure out what they are basically as we go along. You deal with the hobgob. Pick up gold. The rat hits me. These are rats, apparently. Alright, we killed the hobgobs. There's a malachite in here, so those are minerals. Empty chest. Dispatch the Goblin. Pick up gold. Alright, so we have plants, minerals, and other stuff like that. I'm not sure what to hold alt base is supposed to do, how scanning space is supposed to work here. It might not be working, or I just, just don't figure it out just yet, but whatever. Like, I'm supposed to pick up stuff here? I'm not really sure. This is my diary, by the way, so you can basically expand your message log a little bit. There's some onyx. This could smelt a royal seal. Requires a lot of gold. Okay. I wonder how much gold we need then. Killed the hobgob. It's flashing over here. There's some garnet gems. I don't like the fact that the altars don't basically, stay, by the way. It should be that there's a black point there, by the way. It should be that, the altar's picture basically stationary, should be, revealed anyway, so. Oh, you got a lucky rat. So this requires a key. Maybe I need to smelt the key. I can't pick up the key because I got too much, I guess, so. Cast. A thick billowing mist rises from the broken jewel. It stuns those unaligned with luck. Okay, so he's basically give you bonuses and stuff like that. But did I get myself paralyzed? I just paralyzed myself doing this, by the way, so that is a thing. So onyx. And yeah, this actually tells me what it's basically against, so we'll cast this. Onyx. A thick billowing mist resides in the broken jewel. It stuns those unaligned with heal. So that's what onyx does. A thick, flow. Consuming the rosebud gives you a sliver of light. Okay, so rosebud is basically a plant that gives me light for a little bit. There's the willow. That's also a plant, I guess. Consume willow gives you a sliver of luck. And sapphire. The fire dissipates, your luck glyph quivers. Okay, because basically I have luck glyph from the plant. The sapphire here didn't actually hurt me, I guess, because it's line with oh no, it's light. Okay, whatever. Basically, I got everything basically done here. So now I'll just basically get the key because I can pick it up. Use the key to unlock the chest. We unlock the chest. It's got blackthorn and obsidian. So let's skip the obsidian, I guess. So that's darken. And then there's blackthorn right there, so that gives me a sliver of darken. Okay. I pick up the blackthorn from, right there. Oh, I got silenced. So flames burst free. Your light glyph is satisfied. I think those were risks that basically came forth, so that's when I was saying attention gets high, basically like stuff bursts forth. You hit the cauldron. You kill the cauldron, so I killed the cauldron. Not sure I really want to do that, but okay, I just did. There goes the kobold. You can't pick up sage. I'll pick that up in a moment, but The taste of sage relaxes you greatly. I think I just healed myself maybe. So that's important. So it stuns those on the line with light. You stand untouched by the mist because, of course, I already have that. Pick up the gold. There's a diamond, a mandrake, and a willow in here. A garnet, topaz, and willow. Well, there's no lack of stuff here. Now, let's drop these. I'll pick up the willow. So willow is basically aligned with luck. We'll get luck for a little bit. There's topaz. So that's open apparently. All right. I just realized my attention went down. That's probably from the sage. So you can use sage to get retention. Okay. Interesting level generation, by the way. Excuse me. I wonder if like topaz opens stuff for you. Or stuff like that. I don't know. So we got diamonds. Let's just check to see what this all does first. So thick blinking mist rises from the broken jewel. It stuns those unaligned with break. Alright. I have no idea what I basically want to carry, so we'll drop the diamond for now. I didn't mean to pick up the diamond, but okay. What happened to the willow? We'll take the garnet because there's more of it, so why not? Now here's the problem I have, by the way. I can't tell which of these, like, altars basically do what. So a cold strong stone of the altar seems inert. A release of tension near it should stir it to life. Okay, how to release tension. Nope, by the way, cast and consumer are the same thing. So cast basically for this stuff. Consume, like, your things here. Consume sage. How do I get more tension is the thing, right? So yeah, tension seems to go up when you cast this stuff. Okay, there we go. An altar has been satiated. Proceed deeper. I hit the flames. Flamos. You kill the flamos. Alright, what do those things mean? Flame? Those are flames. Kill the illusion. Deal with the illusion. Yeah, what do these altars do? So, the luck glyph. Or the darken glyph. Okay, so I get to pick my glyphs here if I, like, bump into them. Let's see here. I have time basically to go back, I guess, to pick up stuff, so maybe we'll do that. I mean, why not, right? So there's luck, light, endure, darken, and break. I guess I want to go with darkening, so there we go. And there we go, we're letting up. So you envelop the darkened glyph, it feels endless. Your darkened glyph tinks, the culprit went blind. Dispatch to kobold. What's that fee? A furnace. Okay. So there's a furnace up there. But yeah, I sort of feel like, stuff should actually be like, staying on the map a little bit. There's like a fixed object. These are anvils over here. You find grimoire By Magawag, Beloved Miner. You find Fables by Shock, Odd Queen. Okay, do I read these or anything, I wonder? Doesn't really say anything about reading books, so maybe not. There's, you learn question mark, question mark, question mark, cast Onyx. You learn flow, consume, the darkness tinks to Hogwarts when blind. So you learn something spawns mimic. All right, well, the, flames burst free, your lake cliff is satiated, the altar has been satiated, proceed deeper. You hit the ogre, you kill the ogre. Oh, dungeon. More tension, because why not? Okay, we can't do anything until we're unsilenced, so that's a thing. So something spawns Phantasm. Something, Topaz casts something. You learn. Topaz casts Open. So that's just teach me like what the stuff does. Statue of 5 flavor, holy inventory. Let's kill a dungeon, I guess. This guy's taking forever to go down. There we go, you smashed a dungeon. Pick up gold. It's interesting how like this stuff turns into walls. Alright, you find histories by Sinu, Odd Queen, who cares? More tension, because why not? I guess, by the way, that certain enemies are basically aligned with certain things, by the way, so... This is a Phantasm here, apparently. You see wounds slowly stitch back together on the Phantasm. So it's basically generative. Probably a healing thing then. There goes the kobold. I picked up the gold, pick up the key. There's Phantasm here. There's some malachite in here. There goes the dungeon. So you learn luck spawns something else. I end the furnace apparently. Okay, I got a key, so I can open this up. Use the key. I unlock. It's got a rosebud and a malachite, or sapphire rather. Whoop, we got ourselves this thing again. Wow, this cobweb says enduring everything. So endure, something cast endure. I'm just going to wait here for a little bit for tension to go down. I'm not really sure how tension basically works, if it basically, like, stays up until something's killed or something like that. So ash. Consume ash or something else. The hobgoblin hits the furnace. Okay. I get the feeling the hobgoblins are meant to be permanently blind, but hard to really know. Maybe I can't wait out tension constantly, so I have to just move around first. All right, just the dungeon again. Apparently I missed this guy. All right, we got the flow glyph, grasp it and ascend, or we got the heal glyph, grasp it and ascend. So heal lets me heal. And flow to something as well. It'd be nice if this is basically in your documentation, but whatever. So flow, jump through walls and chance for environmental effects to spread more. Open, scan now shows stat details. So I'm definitely not understanding how the alt space is supposed to be used, I guess. Well, before we head out for that, hold alt to scan. Alter flow, alter feeling. Okay, there we go. So it's somewhat works. We'll take this. We'll try holding Alt when there's like enemies on the field and stuff like that, but whatever. The load's kind of like long, but whatever. There we go. You know, I've been going for like 40 minutes, so I might want to just really pack up a little bit here. So there's a kobold that does work. Okay, we got tension popping up. We got one of the glyphs out of the way. I think whenever my like glyphs go off, that's when basically like, you know, the tension rises is the idea. So there's some malachite and rosebuds again. I'm not really sure the inventory basically is like, you know, making much sense here. Like it's there, but I don't really feel a need to use them. At least in this like, you know, post-gen version. Also the fact I had to like use them like to get through the first level is that too. There's Ash. Now, we were told that Ash does something, so... Okay, so I was told what Ash does, but it doesn't actually like retain what it basically does. So, assuming Ash gives you a sliver of open. Well, now I know what it does. Yeah, but when my like, you know, blind goes off, these guys get like, you know, increased intention and stuff like that. I'm waiting for us to go off with my tension, so... Alright, well, I know that pistol release tension might basically use this stuff up, so... You know, it would be nice if it's color code to, like, you know, inventory stuff for what's a mineral and what's like a plant. Let's use the malachite, I guess. Alright, so a thick building smoke comes out. And there we go, we basically altered this stuff here. Alright, let's see here. Alter of flow, alter of openness. So that's got the key to Kobold right there. So we got Sage and we got Skystone. What the heck does Skystone do? It stuns those unaligned with Endure, but because I basically have Endure, we're fine. I mean, it might have been made a little bit too easy in the post-gen version. That's the issue basically here. Like in the first game we saw, I basically died like right away, so... It definitely was too easy then. Some more of this stuff. I really hate when you basically have it so like, you only having it like go up like that, but whatever. It's just how it is, so it's AAA, so to speak. Here's the ooze. Oh, this guy splits. So you guys still have a splitting enemy. I splash that ooze. That guy split. I don't really need to do this, but let's just cast it. Maybe stop moving around for a little bit. Alright, well, that's basically enough of like, this game. There's probably like a couple more deaths to go down, but... There's the flow again. Sure, let's grab it. I'll note the thing about this game is that, like, it's very, like, passive, I guess. And, like, the enemies basically aren't, like, really balanced really well, so... Not really sure what to say about it. There might be something like, hate stuff behind, but, Let's see here. Hold F10 to exit, so... Okay, there goes that. So that's basically beneath the throne of the Goblin Queen. It's got some interesting elements, I guess, with like, the randomness there, but I don't think it's basically well explained for how it's basically supposed to work. Yeah, basically it's automatic and like, using magic is automatic and increases tension. It's basically like, it's based on like, using the glyphs. I guess like the game works in concept, so it is working properly, but it could have been explained better. So, oh well, take care all.